This is so wonderful to be getting everybody at once. I thought it was going to be a couch with all four of you. No couch.
We're just too busy. We're everywhere. Jordan's on her way home from Kingston.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm in a truck right now. Sorry about the boom.
No, thank you for doing this. I really enjoy the new EP. To me, it's a new EP. To you all, I think it is an old EP because do I have it correct that it was recorded in 2019 as part of the sessions for The Professional?
Yes,
That's right.
We've been sitting on them for a little bit, but it's still new and exciting to have them out. Feels like having everyone listen to them with fresh ears. That feels new to us.
Sure. Well, I want to first work the round table here. We can start with Kylie first and say, what's your favorite song of this new batch on the EP?
I mean, I love them all. They're all our babies, but I think my favorite one right now is Blow Up, just because it's the single and I feel like definitely is like the biggest departure for us. And it gets me like really amped up, like almost like gives me a slight anxious feeling, which a lot of songs don't normally give me, but in a good way.
Good anxious.
Yeah.
Jordan, your favorite song?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say Blow Up too. But I really love the ballad at the end of the EP as well. You Don't Owe Me Anything. It's like a really beautiful diva moment for me to do live. So I really like that one.
A diva moment. Eliza?
Yeah. I mean, everyone is picking Blow Up, and I agree, but I also love Bad Behavior. It's always been a fave. I just think it's such a like classic rock song, and it just like, I don't know, it just kind of, it also epitomizes the Beaches in a way. And yeah, I just love it. It's a great song.
And last but not least, I'm sorry to make you last here.
No, that's okay. I would have said Blow Up, but since last night, hearing Let's Go on that Leafs game, I've really been pumping that song. It feels so classic Beaches, but so hyped. So I'm going to say Let's Go.
Well, congratulations on getting played at a Leafs game, but not your first sports exposure, of course. So when you're one of those bands that can be played at sporting events, the publishing money keeps coming and coming and coming. So fingers crossed for you all. But a question I have, I'm dialing in from a beach town in New York called Long Beach. And I personally don't love the beach. I go to the beach. I socialize at the beach. I don't love the beach because I burn in 2 seconds. Am I alone in that, in being based in a beach area, but not loving the beach?
I don't know. I love the beach. I'm a big beacher. I go swimming. Well, we're on like a lake where our beaches is located, where the beaches is located. Oh, man, that was so grammatically correct. Sorry.
You don't have to grab your mic also.
I don't have to grab it?
I love how chunky and loud it's.
It all sounds good to me.
She's like a gamer with like the headset on the thing. It's like, go.
I love swimming in the beach at the beach though. Fuck it. Sorry.
I'm with you, Darren. Like I love the beach, but I burn as well. Specifically at the beginning of the springtime, after my body has been hiding away for 6 or 7 months. So I had a really bad burn experience once in Texas, and I will never forget it. Like, I think I sat outside for 30 minutes, and I think I got a 1st-degree burn. I had blistering, like popping. It was bad.
She had to walk. She had to constantly have air on her. So we would sit at like a restaurant, and she'd have
I was walking in
around.
circles. People were laughing at me. It's not good.
That was
Laughing at you. Oh, well, it's my experience that whatever your band name is and your album title happens to be, people are going to be bringing you memorabilia, and that's all they want to talk about. And then it usually reaches a breaking point that even if you loved that thing, you go, I want to do the exact opposite of that. But I assume that has not happened yet, where you're not bored with going to the beach fully.
No, I mean, sometimes people come up with like, if we have to do a show, like a corporate show, there's like a lot of tie-ins where people sometimes want to give out sand, and we're like, remember that happened? We were like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
ridiculous. No way.
I think that people were thinking that that would be a really good merch idea if we like grab some sand from the beach where we live and give it, charge people
Yeah.
for it.
And
We didn't do
the
that
person who
though.
came up with that idea is someone we love dearly, but the idea itself, I just can't.
Well, that sounds like something that's talked about on the song "Let's Go." I see how smooth I am with my research right there. On the song "Let's Go," when you're talking about pop stars and you're talking about taking advice from people, it's a little unsolicited. That same category, but different person offering the sand advice.
Different person.
Different person, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really do like this EP. It's all over the place in a good way because it does end with the "You Don't Owe Me Anything" ballad, which is not like the other songs. Some of the songs seem personal. A song like "Slow Mo" doesn't seem as personal. It just seems like it's an anthem per se. Now, what was it? And I don't know who to direct this question to, but what was it that made it thought of, hey, this is not the song for The Professional, let's put this aside? Was it tough to cut down the songs from The Professional?
I think we had written The Professional before we wrote the songs that were in the Professional EP. Sorry, wait. We wrote Let's Go, which was formerly called The Professional, before we wrote the songs but we recorded it afterwards. And when our original plan was kind of to release the 2 EPs as like a full thing, but then COVID happened and we kind of had to readjust our plans. So to not complicate things and have like a professional song on that wasn't on the Professional EP, we changed the name. I'm sorry, that was a
I'm
confusing way of
confused,
telling that
but
story.
hopefully you understand, Darren, because I don't.
No, that has happened a lot throughout history. Do you remember the band Blind Melon? They had the big hit "No Rain."
Yes.
Blind
I feel
Melon's.
like your dad liked that song, Leandra. I feel like
Yeah.
that would be by that band.
Everyone likes Blind Melon's "No Rain." I think statistically everyone has to. But their follow-up album is called "Soup." And at Woodstock 94, their one song on Woodstock 94, that compilation, was "Soup." And then the "Soup" album comes out and it does not have a song called "Soup" on it. Soup did not make the album called "Soup." It
Yes,
happens.
it happens.
Yeah, you just gotta roll with it.
You have to roll with it. I'm sure we could think of other examples. If I can ask 2 more questions about the beach's name. Now, something I was curious about was, I've heard a story about the Beastie Boys, that they named themselves the Beastie Boys because they would get into the record store folders, things between the Beatles and the Beach Boys. It was a crafty move. I don't know if that's true or not.
Wow, that sounds cool. That's nifty.
Strategic.
Well, that kind of puts your band around the Beatles and the Beach Boys. Was that any kind of a thing of, hey, where in the alphabet are we going to be?
I don't think I've ever thought about that, but definitely if we go to a record store, it is sometimes easy to find because we find the Beatles and then, you're close by. But
Yeah, and then I end up buying the Beatles albums and not our own.
Well, you would come before the Beatles if my alphabetizing is correct. I do have a master's in library and information sciences, so I think that one is true. BEAC comes before BEAT. So if they bought the Beatles first, that means that the store wasn't taking good care of the racks.
And that's on them.
Okay. And then the other thing is, does anyone in this band like the Bette Midler movie Beaches?
Jordan?
I've heard about this movie and I keep seeing it up on Disney Plus. So it's on my list of things to watch, but I haven't yet to watch it.
I heard it's a tearjerker. Like really.
I heard it makes you cry.
It's a tearjerker. The last, not giving anything away, maybe the last half to the last third-ish of the movie. Have some tissues nearby, but
I'd love to rescore it with only our songs.
That is a wonderful idea. Wow. Or just wait for the reboot.
Marketing.
Bet's crying or dying or whatever happens in the last third, and Let's Go is blasting.
Well, so working on Future Lovers and also The Professional with Jacknife Lee, Jacknife Lee's discography is just the greatest bands of the last 20-ish years and all these remixes that he gets to do. Does anyone in your band ever get to call him Garrett?
So funny you say
Funny
that.
question.
Only Jordan calls him Jackknife, I think.
Yeah, I do. I was like,
Mr.
I'm like, excuse me, Mr. Jackknife, can I please have some water? He's like, please call me Garrett. And I'm like,
And
no,
not that
no,
he's withholding water from us.
no. No,
Wow.
I
think
just
it's
just
like
said
the equivalent to like if you were to call Annie, it's Annie, I always get her last name wrong, from St. Vincent. If you were to call her St. Vincent instead of like Annie.
I probably would.
Definitely call her St. Vincent.
I would call her St. Vincent.
Really?
It's like, why would I call like Bono? I wouldn't call him whatever his birth name was, you know.
What is his
Paul.
I don't even know. Probably something like Sean or Evan
No,
or
it's Paul. Darren's saying it's Paul.
It's Paul?
Yeah.
oh wow. Very English
And-
name.
Believe it or not, Bono's son is one of your label mates these days. He's in a band called Inhaler that is incredible.
They're
Oh,
they're
cool.
really, really good.
We like them. We've tried to hop on tour with them, but it has yet to happen.
Fingers crossed here. And another stereotypical American question that I have here, because there's a long list of stereotypical American questions here. So here in the States, when you get nominated for the Grammy for Best New Artist, you kind of go, oh, our career's over. And then it was nice. It was fun. Because if you win that award, it's just this long list, 9 times out of 10 of artists who didn't have a great next album. And in your case, you won the Juno for the Breakthrough Group of the Year. Is there that kind of stigma with that particular Juno award, or are we just unfortunate in America?
I don't think there's that kind of stigma with the award over here. I mean, certainly that didn't happen with us, but I mean, I don't think that that's a thing here.
Cool. So it was an honor to win Breakthrough Group of the Year because you're going, we broke through.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny because we had actually been in a band for like 6 years prior to that. So winning that award, definitely, it did feel really amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, we are not an up and coming band. Like, we've been grinding for like 6 years now, but a lot of people didn't know that. Like, they thought that we just like emerged on the scene, but there's always like a backstory and all that stuff.
Yeah, and that year, that wasn't your only award. There was the SOCAN Songwriting Prize for money. I would have to imagine that when you get nominated for those awards, it's wonderful. When you win those awards, it's really wonderful. But if you didn't get nominated for the awards, it's kind of like, we didn't need it. That's not why we do this. Do I have that right?
Sorry, guys.
Kylie, what is that?
In demand.
I need to turn this off. I'm getting a guitar dropped off and they're asking me about my address and stuff. But which guitar? We have to plug the endorsements. Oh, I mean, like, we're not 100% on the deal yet, but it's a PR. Well, you know what? I don't know. We're gonna wait and see if we like.
You might not want to plug it.
Yeah, we might not want to, but it's coming soon. That's why my computer is going crazy. I apologize.
I think if we get snubbed, then we're kind of like, we're not doing it for the awards. We don't need this. But secretly, we're a little hurt.
Does the winning one of those awards fall into the most proudest accomplishment for the band, or is that just doesn't matter?
No, I mean, it's always very humbling to be, especially with the Junos, where it's your peers that are trying to recognize your accomplishments. Like, that's always very, not rewarding and humbling and very cool. But I think, at the end of the day, the moments that probably mean the most to us are when you're playing your first headlining tour and you're meeting fans and talking to them directly and just sort of getting that one-on-one experience about meeting people who have been touched by your music. That's probably the most rewarding experience of being in any kind of live band, I would say. But the awards are nice. The awards are nice, but to me, I think it's the live gigs and the opportunities you get to have in those moments that are the most special.
Are the
Jordan
awards
Jordan looks
displayed?
like one of those. Sorry, Jordan looks like one of those webcam filters that's like a drawing. No, sorry, Darren.
I'm sorry.
Like the cartoon,
Car.
the sketch. Yeah.
What's wrong?
I think
No.
as long as you
Nothing.
stand out, that's half the magic right there. Does anyone have? I'm sorry about that. What was that?
Oh no, her little puppy is behind her. I just saw him peek out.
Hi, Sham.
Oh, shambles. Hello. Oh, he can't hear us. She got headphones in.
Yeah, right.
The family is out. I was curious if anyone has those awards displayed, like the first thing you see when you come into the home.
I have that in my house.
Yeah, we gave ours to our parents instead of like a diploma for like graduating. We're like, here, take this Juno, put it in the front.
Well, speaking of Juno and stereotypes and all that, how much does it matter? And feel free to say, Darren, this is a stupid question, but how much does it matter to break America, to make it in America for all of you?
Darren, this question is actually great. We would love to make it in America. That feels like it's our next step. As soon as COVID kind of is behind us, we want to get to the States, and we want to play all these places we haven't played before, like new markets, and make some new fans over there.
I feel like a lot of Canadian like solo artists have had like a really good break there. Like a lot of our solo artists are like really famous, but I don't think there's been a band in the last like 25 years, like a Canadian rock band that's broken in America. So if we could definitely do that, that would be a really cool accomplishment. Aside from your boyfriend's band, Jordan, a little. But
He can't hear.
I can't hear you.
I didn't want to offend.
Yeah, you make a very good point there, that not a lot of Canadian bands have crossed over to the mainstream here. Of course, there's Nickelback, of course.
Yeah, besides Nickelback, sorry, that's like the one.
Theory of a Dead Man has done pretty well here over the years. I think they're now just called Theory. That's too many words.
They
Just
dropped
say-
it, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm supposed to interview members of the Tragically Hip next week. And while they seem to have been a stadium band in Canada, here in the States, at best, they were a club band. So it's a very interesting thing that makes you wonder, was it management? Is it that our ears are different, or were just the wrong songs worked at radio? I don't have the answer.
Well,
I think it's the radio.
Yeah, Canada's really great about CanCon, so they have to play a certain amount of Canadian songs on the radio, which is great support for artists over here. But then you feel like you're the best over here, and you go to the States and no one shows up to your shows.
Well, we're going to work to change that, because this is a compliment, and there's not going to be a but attached to it. Your EP is commercial, yet it's not cringeworthy commercial. I think that's kind of the goal, to be accessible, that you can be played at a Maple Leafs game, but at the same time not have a bunch of people say, oh, these are a bunch of sellouts, they wrote for this and that kind of thing. So looking ahead, is the next album written, or is it in progress?
It's definitely in progress. Like we've been writing throughout COVID, like in between Ontario's many different lockdowns, we've gotten to go to the studio a little bit and continue to write. So I think hopefully like this summer or maybe like early fall, we'll be able to either go to Los Angeles or have Jackknife come here. Definitely recording is something that we're really passionate about, and we can't wait to do that again, since it has actually been like 2 years since we've done it.
That's wonderful that you're going to be working with the same producer again. A lot of
We
bands
hope.
go.
We hope.
Yeah, we hope.
It depends.
Well, I think you have to call him Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garrett's schedule. We'll have to see. But no, we love working with him. He's like such an amazing collaborator, and I feel like he pulls out the best from each of us. And, he's just an easy time.
Well, I have 3 more questions, and then you're all free. And the first one goes back to that song that was briefly mentioned before, You Don't Owe Me Anything. I was wondering, when that was that written to be a solo down, ballad kind of track? Or did you actually phase it into that, and it was originally a full band upbeat track?
No. You want to take this lead?
Well, it was written like a ballad, which we don't usually do. Even like Highway 6, which is one of our more ballady kind of songs, that wasn't written like a ballad. It became that. I feel like most of the time we write these rock songs and we don't slow it down for a ballad, so it was nice. I don't think any of us pictured maybe this one making the cut because it was so different, but I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Anyone have a different recollection, or Lee's correct?
No, I think that's right. I mean, we were just sort of, me and Leandra sometimes in between songs during practice, we'll just sort of fiddle around, and she'd come up with this beautiful keyboard part, and I just started singing like what naturally came to me when she was playing it, and it evolved that way. And we'd always thought the song was really special and believed in it. So it was really validating when Jackknife Garrett was like, yeah, this song is beautiful, like let's not touch it, and let's put it on the album the way it is.
Definitely a special song. My next question, which has nothing to do with anything, who is the biggest metalhead in this group? Every band has one at the very least.
That's hard to say.
Guess me.
Yeah, but I don't think we have one. I mean, Jordan, you can say you, but none of us listen to metal.
Jordan
Well,
likes
I like Alice Cooper, and I love Alice Cooper, and I love Meatloaf, but that's not really metal. That's
Meatloaf
more like
is not metal.
no.
But you like Alice Cooper, and you like, correct me if I'm wrong, Ozzy Osbourne, and like like I don't know. Am I right?
Yeah, that's right. So I guess I'm the closest to
She's
that.
also Chris Angel, so you know.
I'm not Chris Angel.
Is all the bands you just mentioned worked with Canadian producer Bob Ezrin? Is that a coincidence?
Is that Bob Rock? No.
Bob Rock is Vancouver. Bob Ezrin, I think, is Ontario. I think.
I love Bob Rock.
I didn't know any of that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Didn't you have a connection to him, Eliza? Like, was that the guy who went into your Starbucks?
Oh
like,
no, yeah, that was
Clifton.
Oh, man, I forgot his name. It'll let me think. That was like 6 years ago.
That was another big rock Canadian producer.
He lived in the beaches. Was it Ed something?
Ed feels right.
Was
Yeah,
it Dan Hill?
What, Dan?
Dan Hill is a big songwriter who lives out there in the beaches.
It was Ed something. I'll look it up and
Ed
I'll get it.
Stasium?
Say that one more time.
Ed Stasium, who worked with the Ramones. Oh,
No. He like was a big rock guy. I'll get it to you. I'll get you the name.
okay, awesome. And then my last question for all four of you, and it's up to you who answers first, and that's, do you have a TV show that you can recommend to somebody who needs a new show to start?
Oh.
Depends on the type of, depends. I'm currently super into Walking Dead. Like, I am hooked. Never got this far before. I only ever kind of saw the first season, but I'm deep in. I'm season 7. It's so good.
Season 7. Whoa.
Oh, you're moving fast to that.
Yeah.
I just started watching the Boondocks again, which is a really awesome American anime show about this African American family that lives in a suburb outside of Chicago. It's it's actually some of the subject matters I find incredibly relevant right now, but it's also hilarious and beautifully drawn. It's such a good show. I can't believe there's only 4 seasons.
Yeah, I think the spinoff of it was Black Jesus, or some of the people who did that also did that one. So you have more shows to watch after that.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome.
I am watching the revamp of 90210 that came out in 2008, and it's absolutely terrible, but that's where my life is right now. I seek comfort in that kind of thing.
I'm gonna follow that up with Handmaid's Tale. I love Handmaid's Tale. It's getting this new season real good, and it's filmed here in Toronto. So
everything is filmed there in Toronto.
Yeah.
Let's face it. The music is made in Toronto. The movies are made in Toronto. So the bottom line is, thank you all for your time. Congratulations on the CP. And looking forward to seeing your band live in New York when things get normal again. But in the meantime, just stay awesome, okay?
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Darren.
Paltrocast.